Dear students, Jai Hind, very good morning. Welcome back to our e-learning program. As you all know, we have started a new chapter by the title Ratio and Proportion. And in this, you have already attended two lectures. In the first lecture, which was introductory lecture for this chapter, I gave you an idea that how many topics we are going to cover in this particular chapter. And we selected out of those 7 to 8 topics, we selected one topic of variation, and we continued our discussion regarding there are actually I before we start today's lecture, just try to understand that there are actually two types of variation. First, that we all call direct variation, in which both the variables x and y are increasing or decreasing simultaneously. As you know, we solved few example in our lecture number 1 and few in our lecture 2. Okay. In today's lecture, we want to solve some more examples based on variation only. Understand, some more examples based on direct variation. So today, dear student, we are continuing our discussion regarding direct variation only. Before I start today's lecture, again one reminder, what is that? What do you mean by direct variation? Direct variation means both the physical quantities increases or decreases simultaneously together. And the second property direct variation was the ratio of values of, we term it x and y, but two physical quantity remains always constant. Okay, this is what we had discussed, and today again revision of just some more examples. Okay, first, as we know the title of the chapter, dear student, chapter 6. Okay, and chapter 6, the title, as you know, ratio and proportion. Okay, and in ratio and proportion, we are continuing our discussion on the topic of, understand, lecture number 3 you are attending today. Okay, and we are targeting which topic? That is direct variation, on which we are continuing our discussion. Direct variation. Okay, so I just mentioned the topic which we are targeting today. Actually, it is continuation, okay? Ratio and proportion, and in that, direct variation. As you all know, we will write one example here and then we will discuss the same example. Okay, let me write one example here. Please note down the sum. This is like this. Rima, note down the sum. Rima types. Please note down Rima types 540 words. Rima types 540 words in Rima types 540 words in half an hour. Okay, in half an hour. Just concentrate on the sum. Rima types 540 words in half an hour. Then how many words? This is the question for you. How many words? Okay, how many words she can type? Okay, in 6 minutes. Okay, dear student, this is the question. Please first note down the question and then we start our discussion on this. This is the question given to you. And what is the question? Rima can type 540 words in half an hour. How many words she can type in 6 minutes? As dear student, you all know, in any example, the very important thing is first you have to identify two variable quantities from where one is to be taken as x and one is to be taken as y. So while you read this sum, which two physical quantities are varying quantities which you want to target? The number of words which you can take as x and time which you can take understand as y. Is it clear? So dear student, the first statement understand, let concentrate now, let number of words. This way you can simply show let number of words be x. Okay, and time required, time required be y minutes. Just understand this, my dear student. Here x words and here minutes. because here in the example two time are mentioned half an hour and then you are demanded the answer in minute. So that's why either you convert minute into hour or you convert hour into minute. One thing you need to do. Okay. So after supposing this, which is the next step, I am keeping the space intentionally so that you can understand the second half of the sum. What we will write, x varies directly as y. Is it clear? X varies directly as y. Therefore, I can write this way, x equal to ky where k not equal to 0. First step of the sum, to identify two variable quantities in the sum, one to be termed as x, one as y. Here x is the number of words, y time required to type those words. X varies to y, x equal to ky. As my dear student, I told you in second lecture, in exam or in test, nobody is going to ask you either it is an example of direct variation or inverse variation. It is you yourself have to decide whether it is direct variation or inverse variation. Obviously, dear student, if here you can relate number of words and time, if more time, definitely more words can be typed out, less time less words will be typed out. So it is a direct example of simple direct variation. Okay. Now the third step, if how many words are typed by Rima if x equal to 540? Okay. Y equals to, it is given half an hour. I am writing here as 30 minutes. Okay. Half an hour, we can write it as 30 minutes. Next step, write the relation again. Let us put the value 540 equal to k into 30. Next step, let us, I am continuing dear students sum here. Bring 30 here. So you can write 540 upon 30 equals to k. Just simple cancellation. You got k equal to 18. The constant you got. And now dear student, the next half, if time is given, so y equal to 6, x, that's the number of words we have to find. So can we write this way again? X equal to ky. Okay. Place the value k. You already got. Y, that is 6. Just multiply. 8 6 the 48. 4 6 108 words. Means Rima can type 108 words. in a period of 6 minutes. Last statement I am not writing just now. You need to write in test. You have to write Rima can type 108 words in 6 minutes. You can write as a statement. Understand? Dear student, in primary standard in you also come across that when you are relating to quantity, as you all know, they need to be expressed in the same unit. 1 hour, 1 minute. So either minute in hour or hour in minute. That so you must be knowing. Conversion is necessary and required also. Is it clear in your mind? Okay. Let us take one more example. Okay, dear student. Have you read this? Okay. Sometime when we are explaining and writing on the board, may it happen that you are not able to catch the pace. So we are keeping the sum for just 1 or 2 minutes so that you can understand what to write and how to write when you solve any example. Okay, that's why only. Right? I expect you must have written it. Let us go for some more examples. Okay, today's example number 2. Okay, let me give one more example. Some of the simple example, dear student, now we are not going to target. Okay, some little complicated. This is like this. Okay, see what is the sum? Let me write it first. See, dear student, the example which I am writing now, understand, it needs a little more understanding because you have to suppose two physical quantities here. Suppose I write, okay, this is like this, a vehicle, just note down, a vehicle covers, just write down the example with me. A vehicle covers, okay, 30 kilometer in 2 hours. Note down the question. A vehicle covers 30 kilometer in 2 hours. Okay, right. Now the question, how many or okay, okay, how many kilometer of distance distance it can cover. It can cover if speed is increased increased by speed is increased by 10 kilometer per hour. Okay, dear student, first you read this example properly because it demands some more thinking. Understand, I have intentionally given you this example because from the example you have to decide first you will relate which two physical quantities. Dear student, I want to give you some amount of little clue point. Read the last statement. What is given? How many kilometer of distance it can cover if the speed is increased by 10 kilometer per hour. That means, dear student, are you able to mark something here? You have to establish relation between distance and speed. Just mark it. Very important clue point. Otherwise, just by reading the whole example, you are not getting any clue point. Vehicle cover 30 kilometer distance in 2 hours. Then how many kilometer of distance it can cover if speed is increased? Nowhere here mentions speed. In the first sentence, first data, speed is not mentioned at all. And you are asked that if the speed is increased, that means, dear student, it demands a little logic application. The first data, this one, gives you an idea regarding distance as well as speed. Mind this. We have to suppose two physical quantity. One has to be distance covered, one has to be speed. Okay, let me write this way. Please concentrate, dear student. Let speed of vehicle be x kilometer per hour. Let the speed of vehicle be x kilometer per hour, and this, and distance covered be y kilometer. This is very important, dear student. To guess from the given example which two physical quantities you need to compare. This is very important. because from the last statement of the sum you will come to know that two varying physical quantity, one might be the speed and one might be the distance. This is the way first you need to catch and understand it. Okay, speed is taken as x kilometer per hour, distance covered is taken as y kilometer. Now, dear student, very important. First, let us write that data that so you know. This is the first half of the sum. Supposing now x varies to y, x equal to ky, k not equal to 0, and now the third step. If x equal to what is we have supposed x as speed. Are you able to find the speed from the given data? Can you? Vehicle is covering how many kilometer? 30 kilometer in 2 hours. You know the formula of speed, dear student? What is that? Speed equal to distance upon time. You know? How much distance here? 30. How much time? 2. Just cancel. You got the speed 15 kilometer per hour. Okay. So you got the speed and you got the distance also. Okay. So what we are writing now? If x equal to 15, y equals to 30, because at this speed it has traveled 30 kilometer. Let us put the value x equal to ky. Now I am continuing here. So 15 equal to k into 30. Understood? 15 upon 30 to k. Just cancel. 2 upon 2. Now what is said is very important, dear student. What they are asking for now, how many kilometer of distance it can cover if the speed is increased by 10 kilometer per hour. What is the original speed? 15. Now we are increasing it by 10 kilometer per hour. So new speed will be, what should I write here? If x equal to 15 was the original speed. Now we are increasing it by 10. So new speed will be 25 kilometer per hour. I am not writing just now. X equal to 25. Original speed was 15, 20 added. So x equal to 25, y equal to question mark. Main relation x equal to k, x that is 25 equal to half to y. Now you know the basics. What is going to happen? This will cross multiply here. 50 equal to y. So you got the answer y kilometer. Okay. Look at the sum, dear student, and mark the important data how we have analyzed in this particular example to suppose two physical quantities, and that I gave you the clue point from the last statement. How many kilometer of distance? That means distance, and if the speed is varied, speed is increased, that means you have to think that there must be the relation between distance and the speed. How to find the speed? You know, speed equal to distance upon time. Okay, so this is the way you have to catch. First, you just look at the sum. Okay, one more example also. I just of the similar type I want to target for you. Understand? A little of the same type but demands some use. Okay, before I write the next example, here I have given distance and time, and you were able to find speed. This clue point, my dear student, please keep in mind. Here in the first statement, I have given distance and time, and you are able to find the speed. Some looking like the same but with little contrast. Okay, let us do sum number 3. Okay, I'll just write the sum here and then you will try to solve it. Okay, I am going to give you, my dear student, some sort of thinking on your part. That's once I write the sum here, I am going to give little time of thinking that how will you solve this. Okay, so let me write the sum. Okay, third one. It is like this. A car is, please note down, a car is traveling at an average speed of average speed of 50 kilometer per hour. Note down. A car is traveling with average speed of 50 kilometer per hour. Understand? Okay. Next data. How much distance? How much distance it can cover? How much distance it can cover in? How much distance it can cover in 12 or in 10 minutes? Okay, so this is the example in front of you, and now it's a question of logic application on your part. Which two physical quantities you will suppose, how will you suppose, and how can you think and answer this? Okay, try. Okay, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to just think on this, and if you can guess, you can even try by yourself also. I am reading the sum once again for you, dear student. A car is traveling with an average speed of 50 kilometer per hour. How much distance it can cover in 10 minutes? Please instigate your brain and start thinking. Just instigate. It's very important to find physical quantities first, which you can relate for solving this example. And my dear student, always look at the last statement of the sum. The last statement of the sum is going to help you a lot to decide which two physical quantity to relate. One to be taken as x, one to be taken as y. This is very important for you to decide. Okay. Last statement looks how much distance it can cover in 10 minutes. This is actually giving you a clue point that which two physical quantity you need to correlate. You get actually the idea from this. How much distance it can cover in 10 minutes. Two physical quantities. You have to show some smartness to think that which two physical quantities needs to be related here. That's very important. Okay, just 1 minute more, dear student. If you can suppose the two physical quantities, and if you are able to solve this example, then it's very good. Okay. And these are actually the clue point. This will give you a complete idea which two physical quantity to be related. This will give you an idea. Two physical quantities. Understood? Okay. Is it clear? Let us continue. Dear student, you will relate two physical variable quantity. One is distance and one is time. You understood this? These two variable quantities you have to suppose. Let, now I am solving the example. Let distance, let distance covered be x kilometer. Okay, dear student, let distance covered be x kilometer. Time required, time required be y minutes. I can take hour or I can take minute. That depends on me which I need to convert. It is up to us. First statement, dear student. Now next, what it can be? X varies to y. X equal to ky, k not equals to 0. Now, dear student, important. If x equal to what? Read the first data and be little more inquisitive to get the first two physical quantity from here. The car is traveling at an average speed of 50 km per hour. That means car will travel 50 km in 1 hour. Clear? 50 km per hour means car is going to travel, understand, 50 kilometer in time interval of 1 hour. 1 hour means 60 minutes because here we have taken as minutes. So I write x equal to 50, y equal to 60. To make it more clear for you, I am mentioning this 60 minutes so that I have got two physical quantity from one physical quantity. In the previous example, I have given you two physical quantity in the first statement, distance and time, and you got one physical quantity, that is speed. Here I have given you speed, and from the given speed you got two physical quantity, distance covered and time taken. Let us continue. Therefore, x equal to ky is 50, k into y, that is 60. Just k equal to 50 upon 60, 5 upon 6. So we got the value of k, dear student. And now what is the data? How much distance it can cover in 10 minutes? So how will you present it, student? If y equal to 10, x equal to question mark. You understood this? Let us write the main relation again. X equal to ky. Instead of k you will write 5 upon 6 and y that is 10. Okay. Cancellation is possible. 2 5 ja and 2 3 ja. So you got 25 upon 3 kilometer. Okay. This is the way, dear student, you can solve any example. Okay. Obviously the distance is going to be less than 50 because it is an example of direct variation where time reduces. First it was 60 minutes, now it is 10 minutes. So obviously going to be, understand, lesser distance 25.3. Either you convert it into decimal or no, doesn't matter at all. But first, you dear student, look at the example and just try to guess how we got two physical quantity. Are very important to note it down. Understand? Very important. How we got two physical quantities from the first given data where the speed was given and we have assessed out from the speed, distance and time. Okay, just look at the sum, dear student. As first you please note down. Okay, then I just want to share with you one very important concept before we end today's lecture and we end the topic of direct variation. Okay, just have a look for 1 minute only. Okay, now I want to share one very important thing, dear student. Be very watchful. Topic of direct variation. All examples which we have done, I want you to solve in the same manner, not as per the textbook in which they have given those shortcut method of boxes that we do not want to do because we want to uplift ourselves in the concept of variation. And you may come across such example intentionally. In today's lecture I have taken such example where you will find it difficult to assess out that which two physical quantity needs to be supposed, one as x and one as y. Understand, that's why I have taken some complications in the example. Okay, so as in homework, it can happen that some of the example you might get of such type where you have to assess out given data yourself. Okay, dear student, so be smart whenever one more example I want to discuss, but I am just neglecting it for time being. Why? Because my target is when you do your homework, you need to understand the twister given in that example, and you have to try to solve that twister by yourself without my help. That is what we want. You understood, dear student? So today in our lecture number, understand, as you all know, lecture number 3, we are completing the topic of direct variation. Okay, right? In the next lecture, we are going to continue the topic exactly contradict to this. That is the topic of inverse variation, which we are going to continue in our next lecture. Okay, dear student, thank you very much.